who will win this game and why. And instead of making predictions, why don't we play out the two scenarios?
Yeah, I love this, Iggy.
Yeah.
I feel it's a Tuesday. We don't even really know who's playing. We don't know who their running backs are for the Niners. So rather than us being delightfully irresponsible, let's just go through both scenarios. So, Iggy, let's go through a Niners win the game scenario. What would you think would happen?
Okay, so the Niners winning the game scenario is what we just talked about. They hit Aaron Rodgers hard. Their left tackle's out, and I don't even know who the backup left tackle is. So Nick Bosa is going to kick that guy's ass. So if they can hit Aaron Rodgers hard early, we've seen it before, he'll check out. That's part of it. That's not all of it. That's not enough. The offense has to do something.
But remember, we're doing how the Niners
and I'm going to say what they have to do.
Okay.
Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo could come out and just throw the ball all around the field, although the last 6 quarters hasn't really indicated that that's going to happen. What's more likely is they run the ball. That's what they usually do against the Packers. They run the ball, and they can't be stopped. And even though the Niners have banged up running backs, they've shown that they can pretty much get production out of anyone. So maybe someone who's a little banged up will play. Maybe someone on the practice squad or from free agency will sign and be good. Maybe they'll be able to run the ball because the blocking is so good, because Kittle and Juszczyk and Williams and McGlinchey are so good as run blockers. Maybe that's why they'll be able to control the game on the ground. And what they'll do is find a way to run the ball, hit Aaron Rodgers early, and put the game away in the second or third quarter. Put them away like they normally do. That's how they do it.
Okay, before we move on to how they might lose, who are the current running backs that are available?
Jeez, not Mostert, not Wilson, not Hasty. They're out. So then
Hasty's
out, high ankle sprain. So you got Elijah Mitchell. He could play, but he left the game with a shoulder injury. We'll see what he feels like in a few days. And then there's Trey Sermon, who could play, but he has a concussion. He's in the concussion protocol now. So that's what they got. They also got a guy named Trenton Cannon, who's been on the team for 6 days. They signed him to return kicks. They also have a guy named Kerryon Johnson on the practice squad, who was good a couple of years ago before he tore his knee up. And then they're bringing in guys today for tryouts. That's where they're at.
Okay. That is dire. That is that's dire. Again, before we move on to a scenario of the Niners possibly losing, I have a relevant question about these injuries. Are they an excuse?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you define excuse, but it's definitely it's going to be a legit factor in this game.
Okay.
Like, for example, the Niners are better than the Packers. The Niners should beat the Packers. But you're never just this platonic version of yourself. It's what players you have healthy that week. And right now, the Niners are in a very weird position where all their running backs are hurt. And we don't even know which guys are going to suit up. So can this version of the Niners beat the Packers? Yes. But it'll be interesting.
Well, let's pretend for a moment I'm a fan.
Yes.
And the Niners, let's pretend they're going to lose, because that's our next scenario.
Yes.
Then I go in to my friends and I say, boy, that was unfair. We really are a better team than the Packers. We should have won, but we had all these hurt running backs. It's just not fair. We're a better team. And you know what? And it's, here you go. We got a lot of injuries. It's not Kyle's fault. We're getting screwed all the time by injuries. My answer is tough crap.
It's football.
In football, you get hurt. These guys got hurt in the game. They didn't get hurt in practice. They got hurt. Live with it, because every other team has other things. So I'm done with the Niners and their injury excuses. Play the goddamn game, see what happens. Bring your guys, we'll bring our guys. Don't tell me who's hurt as an excuse.
That's why it's important that they won their first 2 games. I mean, sometimes you lose because you have some tough injuries, and that's just the way it goes. So you got those wins, great. And if you lose this one, you're only 2-1. But we should talk about how it could happen.
Okay, now you go on that.
I don't see any way that the Packers can really protect Aaron Rodgers. They don't have the offensive line, and the Niners' defensive line is really good, but they might be able to run the ball. Let's say Javon Kinlaw doesn't play. He's a dated. Who knows with Javon Kinlaw? Let's say he doesn't play. All of a sudden, the run defense isn't there, and the Packers can run the ball, and they have play action, and they have Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. They could score a lot of points. And then on the other side, let's say this, whatever the Niners can patch together at the running back position doesn't work out. Well, let's say they don't get a good running back this week and the running game doesn't work. What is their offense? How many points are they going to score? Can they keep? Here's what could happen. The defense could play really well, Dad. They could play really well, but the offense could do what they did the first 2 weeks, which is let the team hang around, kind of mess with, not, like they'll have some nice drives, they'll hold the ball, score 20 points. And then it's the fourth quarter, and the Niners have 20 and the Packers have 14, 17. It's like, oh no, this is going to come down to the wire, and they have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they lose. I mean, you let it, you mess around and you let it go down to the wire against Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts, fine. You'll win that. This is a whole different thing. So if we said the key to them winning is putting this team away. If they don't put them away, that's how Robert Saleh would lose when the first couple years when he would face Aaron Rodgers. They'd play well. In the fourth quarter, it would just all fall apart. So DeMeco, Kyle, put this team away when you got a chance. Step on their neck.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not going to say, because we don't know if Kinlaw's going to play. We don't know if Josh Norman's going to play. We don't know if Emmanuel Mosley's going to play. I do think one thing, I'm not going to make a prediction, but I do feel that missing the running backs they're missing is going to be hard for the Niners to score points, even against a mediocre defense. And we mentioned it earlier, this would be a good week to just have a couple of plays for Trey Lance or something. It's not just Lance. He's on the bench. Kittle's not being used. Ayuk's not being used. Something else has to be incorporated in this offense. Maybe it's not Lance, but how about Kittle? How about Ayuk? Right now it's Debo. That's the whole offense.
Yeah.
So something new has to be introduced, or else they're not going to score enough points to win this game.
Iggy, do you have any idea who the starting running back will be?
No. It could be Elijah Mitchell, but he's got a shoulder injury. I have no idea. Trey Sermon has a concussion right now. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know how serious Mitchell's shoulder injury is?
He returned to the game, but that could have been, adrenaline or whatever. I guess we'll find out tomorrow when they release if he's practicing. We'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll see tomorrow. I'm not picking it. I just know that I feel like this is the Niners' biggest challenge, not because the Packers are so great, but because they have a Hall of Fame quarterback and the Niners are injured. It's the same story with the Niners, but they're injured.